Alright friends, Robert's Insurance. What's up? So today I want to talk to you about a decision that you make every single day in your reselling business that could be costing you thousands of dollars a year if you make it wrong. So what it could be costing you $1,000 a year? Beard, are you just exaggerating? It's just one of those clickbait videos that just to get us to watch, to hear what you have to say. It absolutely is not. And so, as I was live on Wednesday, make sure you're checking out the live show. I'm live every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Answer questions, talk about reselling topics. And Friday nights we hang out just goofing off, having a great time. You know, reselling is a lonely game. And so if you've got a chance to hang out and just have a good time on the internet on a Friday night, we talk some reselling. We'll answer your questions if you got them, or we just make fun of the topics of the day. So what question do you have, Beard, that I make every single day, and if I make it wrong, it could cost me $1,000 a year? And it's a simple one, and it's one most people don't just take for granted. And the question is, where do you sell an item? Each item that you list for sale on the internet you can sell it on multiple platforms. And each one of these platforms has positives and negatives. And for me, one of the biggest considerations is how much profit will I make per platform? Because they are not the same. Other considerations are, speed with which it will sell, and okay, that's pretty much it. Okay, so Beer, what are you talking about? So I showed this camera. Picked this guy up for 25 bucks, but then I got a 25% discount, and no, it wasn't the old man discount. So the thrift store I picked it up at is trying to extend their hours for during daylight savings time, and so they want to stay open an hour later because it's lighter an hour later. And so the first week they're doing this, which I think is a great idea, to get people used to, hey, we're open an hour later. They've got 5 stores, is we'll give you 25% off the last hour. And so I got 25% off of $25. Somebody do the math. What's that? Almost. So it's like $19, $18.75, $19, somewhere in there. So that's what I paid for the camera. And so I started looking it up. And so here's where all the differences come in. And folks, you don't have to be a genius. It helps. You can come for me in the comments. I don't care. It's as simple as, man, you've got these phones that give you all this information. And normally I would tell you the easiest way to do a detailed comparison is to just look it up. And okay, so the first thing is you look it up, you see there is a price difference. And that's really the only numbers you need for this comparison, is how much you're going to sell on each platform. Because I'll show you the shortcut. It's easy. It's much easier than it used to be. Hint, hint, AI can tell you all the answers to these things. So, Beard, how am I supposed to know what the sales fees are on Amazon versus eBay? These are the 2 platforms that I'm choosing from in this example. So the camera on eBay will sell for $200. That's where the brand new version of that camera has sold. It is historically sold there, and it sells there pretty regular because this camera is a few years old. It doesn't come up new very often. As a matter of fact, on Amazon, there were no new ones on there until I put this one on there. Hint, I sold it on Amazon. And the last one, they are selling used ones at $200. So I'm like, there's a little bit of a price difference. And so I placed it at $250. If you look at Keepa and some of those data charts, you can see where the highest number is. I did not. I just picked $250 because I felt that pretty comfortable being $50 above the best used price. And so that's the only 2 numbers you need. It's going to sell on Amazon for $250. It's going to sell on eBay for $200. All you have to do is go to your language model of choice, AI. And I know people are going, oh, Beard, don't tell us about AI again. This one's easy. A very simple prompt. All I did was I put it in ChatGPT. I said, can you please give me a breakdown of the selling fees on eBay and Amazon for a digital camera? The camera on eBay will sell for $200. On Amazon, it'll sell for $250. Assume a 6% promoted listings fee on eBay. Because remember, eBay does not have the same traffic as Amazon, and so it's going to take a little more effort to get this thing up in search because there's more competition on eBay. Amazon, remember, is only one listing. I think there was only like 3 or 4 sellers. It had a high sales rank. For those of you not dealing with Amazon, sales rank tells based on how many items are in that category. So this one had like 150,000 sales rank, which is in digital cameras is quite high. Remember, there's only 3 sellers, so sales rank is greatly affected by how many are available. So you have to keep that in mind. So, and I knew, man, I've got a great item. It's desirable. There just aren't many of them. I don't worry about the sales rank as much because I know it'll sell. If it'll sell on eBay, it'll dang sure sell on Amazon. And so that's a lot of thinking that the sales rank in this example really doesn't matter. And so chat comes back. Okay, so 6% promoted. A lot of you are saying, Beard, I do 2, 3, maybe none. So the fees are broken down with and without the promoted. So this I'll be able to tell you. So Amazon. So what are they going to charge you? Because Amazon, across the board, their fees are not uniform. So certain categories, so if you're a video game seller, your video games are going to cost you like 15% referral fee. But if you sold a video game console, it's only like 8%. So they're built in through all Amazon's fee structure. And eBay, to a certain extent, there are different percentages based on what category the item is in. And so on Amazon, digital cameras the referral fee is only 8%. That's pretty good, right? To sell a camera on one of the largest sales platforms on the internet and only be charged 8%. So if I sold that for $250, 8% would be $20. And, there are selling fees. If you have an individual account, it'd be another 99 cents. I have a pro seller account, so it's $40 a month. So however many items I sell divided by 40. So, if I sold 200 this month, each item, it'd be like it's so negligible, 40 or 50 cents that I never consider it. And so my total fees are basically going to be $20 for this example. So that means my net after fees is $230. Shipping I didn't involve shipping at all because both platforms shipping very, very similar in cost to the point where they both use the same commercial rates and there's no advantage or disadvantage to shipping on either platform. So that is, in this example, is not considered. eBay. So 200 is the max. You might have been able to squeeze 220 and wait a little longer. So the fees, 13.25. Aha. You should be thinking right away, this is a platform that sells slower and they're charging more money. I'm beginning to see some of the reasons why Beard picked Amazon. So $26.50 is what it would cost you. Remember, for $50 more, it only costs $20 on Amazon, but yet to sell it for $50 less, I'm going to pay them $6.50 more. And if it's promoted at 6%, that's going to be $12 more. So your total fees would be $38.50. And folks, I'm a firm believer in promoted listings on the eBay platform. I mean, we can argue with this in the comments or for days. Some folks are dead set against it. It's just been my pay-per-play thoughts and experience with eBay, and not everybody is the same. I know people that don't promote, and they have good results, and I would tell them, congratulations, don't give me more money. You're doing great. Your items don't need it. But we're talking a digital camera. There's a lot of competition in the digital camera space. Digital cameras are still relatively popular. No matter how good our phones are, the camera still has a lot of features with digital zooms, and like this camera here is putting a lot of bokeh effect behind me. What's the bokeh effect? It blurs out the background. So when I'm recording, I can see everything in the background, all my mess behind me. But when you're looking at this, it focuses on me, the person, and it kind of blurs. Digital phone cameras struggle with that. they have to artificially and computer algorithms to make that happen, where that naturally happens with these big lenses on this camera. This is a large lens on a nice Canon camera. Okay, so this is just one item today that we're talking about. That my net after fees on Amazon is $230. It's $161 on eBay. In my selling experience, so one item, I lose $70. Folks, how many decisions like this do you make every single day, and how many times can you lose $70? Remember, I want you to work smarter, not harder. Or if you're going to work harder, still work smarter so you can really take your efforts to the next level. So this is an important question to ask. And with ChatGPT and other AI models, it is very easy to look at the comparisons. It's simply, you could just use the free version and go and ask it these questions, and it pops up really, really quick. And then while you're there, you can, if eBay becomes a choice, because sometimes it's not an option between these two platforms. Sometimes, like used clothing you can't sell on Amazon, but you can sell it on eBay. So then maybe you want to ask Chat, the difference between eBay and Posh, or maybe it's eBay and Macari, whatever. But it'll be able to break down your fees, and your biggest thing is how much can I sell it for each platform, and then they can tell you the differences. All right, I hope this little talk has helped just to really get you thinking about, man, there's a huge difference in platforms, and I don't think eBay would have sold this in 36 hours. It sold that fast on Amazon. Absolutely amazed that it sold so fast. I knew it would sell, but 36 hours, I'd be lying if I told you I thought it would sell that fast. All right. So I hope this discussion can get you thinking and understanding that simple decisions in your business can help you make much more money, or the opportunity can. Even though $161 on $19 is still, man, that's still great profit. I've still got to ship it, so the shipping is going to be another. If you just say $10, it's probably what it's going to cost to ship. $150 is still, less taxes and all that stuff. But anyway, it's still a wonderful amount, and eBay is still a viable platform. But not everybody has the option to sell it on Amazon because some brands are restricted. I get that. I've been doing this a long time, and so there are brands that I can sell you probably can't. And it goes both ways. So in this example, man, Amazon has made me an extra $70. How many things do I have to sell on eBay to make up the $70? So, yeah. Like, comment, share. Appreciate each and every one of you. I hope this discussion helps you in your business. The name of the game is making money in this game. Make more money easier. I need to come up with some kind of slogan. More money, more money, more money. Have a roll tide life.